So it's 4:02 on April 25th. I'll call this meeting to order. I'll go through roll call of planning commission members. Do I have Commissioner Trix? Oh no, I saw him on here.
Here.
Thank you. Dahlman, Abby Dahlman. And Bryce Ehrlich.
Here.
Joey Edwards.
Here.
Lupe Bobadilla. I know he wasn't going to make it. And then Jamie Cipher.
You got it. I am here.
Nice. Okay, thank you. County Commissioners, Commissioner Mudge.
Here.
Commissioner Marcella. And Commissioner Fiedler. Okay. So thank you guys all for getting back to me on the email today and texting me early this morning that she wasn't sure how she was going to put on this evening's meeting. So my thought in looking at the agenda is we could go ahead and approve the minutes and get the housing update from Jackie and then table items B and C under new business to next Monday evening, same time. That sounds good with everybody. I'll give the floor to Jackie to start us off.
We've been working really hard trying to put together things for the Housing Authority. So we've had a couple different meetings. The March 28th meeting, we discussed the community guidelines and what the electeds would like to see for deed restrictions and who qualifies for housing, and that would be the tiers of that, what the lottery procedures might be like, and if we had resales with deed restricted homes, that if it would be required to go back through the lottery, basically keeping it affordable, and the answer was yes to that. Then we had a follow-up question and answer session via Zoom on April 6th, and we had the charrette, which was held at City Hall and then also at the school to have the community involvement and input for the density recommendations and to fill out questionnaires. We still haven't gotten the results from that, but there was a lot of participation. I think they got 90 surveys answered, so hopefully they'll get some good clarification on what people want to see for that first charrette. And then we had our most recent meeting last week on Thursday, and we learned right before the meeting that the current housing, the City of Leadville Housing Authority would not be able to be transitioned into the Regional Housing Authority because it was set up under different state statute and there was no way to move that forward. So we're now looking at forming a new Regional Housing Authority. And that's exciting, and we're trying to look at what we want the makeup to be in terms of what the board looks like for that and what kind of powers the Housing Authority will have. And so the electeds came back with some good information on that, and we're hoping to follow up. We may have another Zoom meeting with some other executive directors of other housing authorities if folks have questions about what they're doing and what's worked and what hasn't worked and that sort of thing. And we're looking for that on April 11th. I'm sorry, May 11th at, we're already in May 11th, 5:30 to 6:30. And then our next big meeting is going to be May 19th. And we're going to try and look at, we already kind of decided on what kind of projects we want the Housing Authority to take on, what the board might look like, and then this will be what kind of powers will the Housing Authority have. And then May 25th is the second charrette. The time and place has not been decided on that, and that's being managed by Gabby and Morgan. So that's pretty much the housing update that I have.
It's a good one. Thank you, Jackie. Any questions anybody has for Jackie?
Jackie, I've just got one quick question. Thank you for the update here. Do you have a rough timeline on when the charrette results will be out or kind of what their process is around that?
I think that they're hoping to have a couple more days and then they will start working on analyzing them. So I would anticipate perhaps by the beginning of next week.
Cool. Thank you.
Mhm.
Okay, awesome. Thanks a lot, Jackie.
Thank you.
Sorry, I'm trying to go back and forth between the agenda. Yeah, Sarah, if you want to do a quick overview, because I know you said you may not make it next week. So on the STR subject matter, I don't know if I necessarily want to get into a big discussion tonight without Ann or staff, but if you want to, yeah, break that in.
Yeah, I'll just give a quick intro or you know, why the board wants to have the discussion at least. But there was, personally, it's been on my mind for a while to just set kind of the tone, kind of like the comprehensive plan or future land use of short-term rental cap. And, you know, following, I wanted to explore following the city's lead on that. I know that there are some thoughts on whether or not that's actually would be an effective tool to use, but something that came up last week was a threat, or it was a, what's the word, speculation that some of our multifamily unit homes were or units were going to be purchased by a management company, which didn't end up correlating or will likely not be what kind of was feared and chatted about. And Anne reminded me that there are certain restrictions for multi-unit development and density, which is just helpful as a reminder too. So if nothing else in the conversation to come with this group, it would be great to, you know, kind of review all of that. And in looking at the minutes, I saw that Anne said she'd send out some info, and I may have missed it, or she maybe didn't get a chance to send stuff out. So maybe we could get that from her before our conversation, and that would kind of help point to, you know, remind us of existing code and rules and regulation, and help us chat about whether or not we'd like to pursue a cap or something similar to the city.
Okay, cool. Thanks. Yeah, I didn't get anything from Ann yet either on that. And I know she was going to put together maybe a map of some sort that kind of showed where existing ones were to see if we could identify areas of concern. Yeah, and obviously it's a big conversation. So
yeah, and just on that note, sorry, Heather, I know she definitely did some of the background work to figure that out. And I can't remember if it was Anne or Jackie that said it, but apparently most of our short-term rentals might be concentrated in West Park at the moment. Just food for thought.
yeah, that's interesting. Okay, well, cool. Thank you for that. And I know there were a couple of you that can't be here next Monday, but I believe we had enough to be a quorum. I don't know if Abby ended up making it on tonight. It doesn't look like it. So, but I think she had said she would be able to come. Howard, Joey, so far, Bryce, and myself. So I think that makes enough for us to at least start the conversation. I hate to put off any more work session stuff because I think the next meeting after this is an application hearing. So take advantage of these work session days when we can. So those of you that can make it next Monday, please do. Those of you who can't, feel free to give us a call for an update, or, you know, you can get the Zoom recording too if you want to revisit it. Any questions before we do a motion to adjourn?
Did you want to do the minutes? And also,
Oh yeah, sorry, I just skipped right on over those, didn't I? Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
comment, sorry. I will do my best to go through some of those, our topics, and add comments and questions, and try to communicate with staff before I head out of town this weekend. And just want to reiterate, encouraging planning commission folks to feel free to do the same.
Definitely. And we have minutes from April 11th. Anybody have a chance to look those over and or make a motion to approve?
Yeah, I'll move to approve the minutes from April 11th.
Thanks.
I'll second.
Great. Any discussion? Okay, all in favor? Aye.
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 Any opposed? Okay, motion carries. Great. Perfect. Yeah. And as Sarah said, please, if there's any questions or comments, if you can't make it on Monday, obviously a little hard without the conversation, but feel free at any point, obviously, to put that stuff together and share with Anne over time, and call any of us for an update on how Monday and what the conversation was about. Do we have a motion to adjourn?
Sure, I move to adjourn tonight's meeting.
Thanks, Bryce.
I'll second.
Okay. All in favor? Aye.
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 Any opposed? Okay. Everybody have a great evening and thanks for coming, and we'll see most of you next Monday.
Thank you.
Best meeting
Thanks.
ever.
Good night.